Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Your Big Music Moment. We come at you every day at 5 p.m. Pacific, and we feature up and coming artists of all stripes. And at Big Music, that's what we're all about, is supporting and giving voice and giving platform to artists from all backgrounds and all sizes. And we're here for them, and we're here to spread music to everybody. And speaking of which, we had a great show yesterday with Mason Summit. So shout out to Mason. And today, got an amazing artist, Lauren Davidson, coming at us from New York. So here is Lauren. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great, great. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's have a chat, but why don't we, as usual, just start out with some music and take things from there.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, it's easy to cry. It's easy to cave in. Sometimes it's so hard to follow the light. Want it so bad, all up to win. I don't mind coming in last. I've been waiting at the station, but when the train comes, I ain't gonna take it. Life is rolling, set in motion, but I'm gonna stop here in my tracks. I won't wish away my life, waste away my time. I just wanna make the most of where I'm headed. I'm soaking up every second. Take a picture of the moon, waiting on the sun. Make the best of this moment, standing in these shoes. Leave it up to the stars. Tomorrow might come and break my heart, but tomorrow I won't fall apart. When life gets hard, I've been waiting at the station, but when the train comes, I ain't gonna take it. Life is rolling, set in motion, but I'm gonna stop here in my tracks. I won't wish away my life, waste away my time. I just wanna make the most of where I'm headed. Yeah. No, I don't need to go any faster. And I may not have all the answers. I won't wish away my, waste away my time. I just want to make the most of where I'm headed. I've been waiting at the station, but when the train comes, I ain't gonna take it. I'm just rolling, set in motion, but I'm gonna stop here in my tracks. I won't wish away my life, waste away my time. I just wanna make the most of where I'm headed. I'm soaking up every second. I'm soaking up every second. I'm soaking up every second. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That hits quite a high energy level. That's great. That's
Yeah, it's really
exuberant.
fun to play with a band too.
Yeah, I can imagine. It sounds like a
Yeah,
celebration of life, of
yeah, it
everything that's
definitely
going
is.
on, which is an important thing for us these days. But music, why are you here? What path led you here, and what drives your music and your art?
Yeah. So music's been a part of my life for my entire life. My dad was a singer-songwriter when he was younger and always played guitar and piano and wrote songs and sang around the house, even though it wasn't something he was pursuing as a career. It was just a piece of him. And it then became a piece of me. from a very, very young age, before I could even really speak words, I was singing songs, and I have recordings of that, which is hilarious. And singing is just something that I've always known and always loved. And I bit a musical theater bug at a young age too, and kind of grew up playing in community theater shows and college shows and professional shows. And then when I moved to New York City, started singing with bands and writing my own music.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting going from you're trained in the Broadway stuff, the theater style. So projecting, taking
Yeah.
these songs that obviously already exist because they're part of a musical and interpreting those. And then you've gone to writing, which is that seems like a very different thing, like writing your own
Yeah.
song
It
from performing another one.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, even my whole life as a kid, even doing theater, always sang covers. But I think some of the covers that I was mostly drawn to were things that I related to in some way. So I
Right.
think for me, I've always loved telling stories, but it just for another level for me is like being able to tell my own.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. And so
Yeah.
so then that informs, like, so you kind of know the stories that other people tell. So then that probably helps you shape
Yeah.
your
I
own
mean,
versions
yeah,
of your
I like to
stories.
write when I write anyway, I like to write things obviously that I've experienced so it's real and authentic to me, and I can kind of um be happy or be sad or get through a situation that I'm going through or have gone through my own music and my own
Right.
songs. But I think before I ever started writing music, I maybe found songs at those moments in my life that somehow related to what I was going through. And I
Okay.
kind of used my own voice through other artists. And in theater, it's different. You're playing a character. You're
Right.
living that character's stories, which those
Right.
songs always support. So in some way I just kind of used music to tell my own stories until I started writing my own.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so and that gives, we had an artist on from Ireland a few days ago, and he
Oh
was
wow.
interesting. He talked about characters, and he would use different characters to tell different aspects of the stories that he wanted. And interesting that you
Yeah.
reference something similar to that, because I think, you know, the one thing about, we see actors on television, we see a lot of people that are very talented folks that give voice to these messages that a lot of people and writers have put together. And there's
Absolutely.
a certain kind of vulnerability in that. But as an artist, when you're telling your own story, I mean, you're laying it all bare. It's a whole different game, I would
Yeah, I
imagine.
mean, I kind of wish I would have found songwriting a little bit earlier. I mean, my dad's been a songwriter my entire life. So it's kind of interesting that I never really found my voice through my own songwriting, but I think I was maybe just a little too hesitant to share that piece of me with the world. And as I got a little older and more courageous, so to speak, I was kind of ready to share those stories and continue to grow and share, through my music today.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. And I think that the fact that you had your dad's example is probably inspiration to have started now. So,
Yeah, also, we still write together, and my whole
oh,
first batch of music that I ever wrote was with him. It was like, "Hey, I have these ideas. Maybe there's something there, maybe it's not." And
wow,
we wrote at least my first 5 songs before I ever even stepped in
cool
a
is
room with
that?
someone else, a stranger or a friend,
Yeah.
and started writing. Now I write with a lot of people both here in New York and in Nashville, but we still write together. We've written a couple songs during the past few months being
Wow.
quarantined.
I mean, that's really cool. That's a collaboration that not a lot of parents and their kids get to do something like that artistic. That's really
Yeah, it's
cool.
it's definitely really special.
Let's hear some more music, but one housekeeping thing before we're going. Let's make sure that
Sure.
we're getting out to your Facebook audience. So everyone bear with us, but I think it's important that we reach
Yeah.
those folks. So let's just make
Facebook.
sure that page went live.
Oh, I see it. It looks like it is now.
Hmm. Is there a go? Did we hit go live on there?
And it's saying that it's live and it's been
Okay.
live for 11 minutes.
Well, then that is awesome. That was a false alarm. Sorry,
There we
everyone,
go.
but we're just just making
Better
it
safe than
happen.
sorry.
It is. It is. Thank you for your forbearance. And so we're going to hear a couple of songs, and I'm looking forward to hearing about them
Yeah.
afterwards
Cool.
and what went
Awesome.
into the writing of them.
This is my song Love Ain't Fair. He was a sweet southern gentleman opening the door, and then we were just a couple of teens seeing how far these hearts could reach. Should have been all I'd ever need, but he wasn't right for me. And I was so blind in love with someone else's guy, trying to find any way just to make that boy all mine. But sometimes ain't the right. Hey, ain't it a bitch when you don't get what you give? You wish that they felt for you what they do for someone else. You're telling you fell for the one who never tells you what you want to hear. Yeah, it's patient and it's kind, but sometimes love ain't fair. Gotta laugh at the fact that the one you have ain't the one you want. And it's some when you miss the one you ain't with instead of the one you got. She had the world in her hand, could have had any man, but wouldn't leave what he had with Jack without Jackie. Well, that she was history. Hey, ain't it a bitch when you don't get what you give? You wish that they felt for you what they do for someone else. It's telling you fell for the one who never tells you what you want to hear. And it's patient and it's kind, but sometimes love ain't fair. Love ain't fair. Ain't it a bitch when you don't get what you give? You wish that they felt for you what they do for someone else. It's telling you fell for the one who never tells you what you want to hear. Yeah, it's patient, it's kind, but sometimes love ain't fair. Gotta laugh at the fact that the one you have ain't the one you want. It's when you miss the one you ain't with instead of the one you got. Yeah, ain't it a bit? 'Cause love ain't fair.
Awesome.
Hi, thank you.
That was fantastic. I was rocking out here. I know we talked about two, so you just want to jump straight into another one?
Yeah, so actually both of these songs are on a EP that I
Ah,
am in the process of releasing, and this is my newest single. It's called Compass.
Compass. Excellent.
Yeah. We try to talk it out, but the words keep getting in our way. Silence is louder than a shout. There's a sea of sheets between us, and it's not okay. It feels like uncharted waters. We've lost sight of the shore. If we just hang tight, we can make this right. I'll never let us go. I don't want to let us go. If we let love be our compass, even in the roughest moments, if we trust it, it'll get us through. I ain't scared of nothing. Let the storm start coming. And if the weight's so heavy, it's enough to sink this ship, I'll go down with it. No matter where life takes us, every up and every down, I'd rather brave a hurricane with your last name than a sunny day long. I don't wanna let us go. If we let love be our compass, even in the roughest moments, if we trust it, it'll get us through. I ain't scared of nothing. Let the storm start coming. And if the weight's so heavy, it's enough to sink this ship. I'll go down with you. If we let love be our compass, even in the roughest moments, if we trust it, it'll get us through. I ain't scared of nothing. Let the storm start coming. And if the weight's so heavy, it's enough to sink this ship. If the weight's so heavy, it's enough to sink this ship. I'll go down with it.
That was great. I love the
Thank
line
you.
about the hurricane and the last name. That's really
Yeah.
cool. That's quite an
Yeah. Thank
image.
you.
That's really quite an image. Um, so these are two songs from your upcoming EP,
Yes. So I am
and
in the process of releasing a 5 song EP in 5 parts. So I've released 2 of them so far.
excellent. And is there an arc to the message and to the themes and to the
Yeah.
project?
Yeah. So it's actually really funny. I went into the studio towards the end of last year, just kind of very quietly to work on this new music. And I had all of these songs that I had written over the course of the past, year and change, and started listening to them all again and picking songs that I wanted for this 5 song EP. And after I picked all of the songs, I kind of realized that the songs that I had picked had all had this underlining theme of love, but not traditional love songs. Like not one single song on this EP is like your powerhouse, I love you love song. But they're all centered around love in some way, whether it's loving yourself, finding love, losing love, um, like compass fighting for a love that you're in when things are hard. So it was
Right.
kind of interesting to me that without even really intentionally doing that, they all had that theme. And the first song of those 2 songs is called Love Ain't Fair. And I was like, oh my God, that's the perfect title for this EP.
Oh, that's great. That one, and I mean, what a better thing than to be celebrating, sure, but also trying to understand is love, because that's
Yeah.
kind of that's that connection we have with ourselves and others is why we're
Yeah.
here, I think. What
Of
and
course.
it's interesting that you've taken that outside of the context of just romantic love and to the larger picture. I think that's a great perspective for people.
Yeah, thanks. I think especially like in these times, having more time on our hands too to just evaluate relationships and family relationships and friendships and love relationships and spending more time with ourselves too,
Right.
maybe than we would normally
Hmm.
in the go, 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 especially, for me living in New York City. It's been really interesting to um, explore that a little more and think of these songs in different ways than maybe I
Right.
thought of them when I wrote them.
Right. And that was I was also going to ask you about being, you're a country artist in New York. What is there like are there expats who are in New York listening to country
Um,
or how does that
yeah,
work? Like when you could play live, what was that like?
Yeah, it's actually really funny. So we've had a country radio station in New York City for I think it's 6 years now, and because of that, there are so many country music fans here. I grew up in New Jersey and was born in Brooklyn and moved back to New York City a few years ago. And between New Jersey, where I also play a lot, and New York City, every single major artist from Nashville, every touring artist, they're
Right.
all coming here and playing shows in New York because of country radio, and it was so interesting to
Country.
see country artists selling out these
Right.
tours in Manhattan, in Madison Square Garden, where you
Right.
wouldn't think that there would be a lot of country artists. And I kind of get to be on the front end of that, so to speak, because it's only been a few years here in New
Right.
York. But for me, I just always loved storytellers and
Mhm.
singer songwriters. So I feel like as genres have shifted and pop music has shifted, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of hip hop music now, and a lot of pop crosses those lines too.
Right.
Country music's kind of opened its umbrella to organic instruments, like just lots of guitars and
Right.
live bands, and also just that underlining storytelling.
Yeah. That. I mean, it country music comes from the tradition of Americana, which is one of the many storytelling oral history tools that
Yeah.
cultures have used versions of music for that for a long time. So it's definitely those old cowboy ballads were all about as much about the history of what was going on as music.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Sounds great. Well, let's why don't we hear another song? But before that, is there anything else you want to share about what's going on, about your upcoming releases, about just any thoughts? We're a platform here for you, and I certainly wouldn't want to
Yeah.
cut you short on anything.
No, sure. So, once again, my name's Lauren Davidson. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm in the process of releasing a 5-song EP in 5 parts, and it's titled Love Ain't Fair. And I released the first track, the title track, Love Ain't Fair, back in February, and just released that second song, Compass, a little over a month ago, and working on getting the third song out to you and the rest of these songs throughout the course of whatever's left of 2020. And also, I started a mini festival in New York City called Urban Country Jam. And we had our very first Urban Country Jam at the Cutting Room in New York City back in February before shows got canceled. And just kind of working on some stuff under the radar for when shows can happen again, and a bunch of virtual concerts. And it's something that's near and dear to my heart to be able to bring artists together, kind of like what you're doing here too, and just be able to have that camaraderie and to put country music and music fans and artists in the same space, whether it's actually in person or here online. So that's been really fun and something that's really special to me too. So I hope you check
Awesome. I
both
mean,
out.
yes, yes. I mean, we couldn't agree more.
Right?
but it's great to see you so active in that. We'll be here supporting that as
Thank you.
much as we can, and everyone go and learn about more on social, stream all the songs, tip, buy
Yeah.
merch,
Thank
and
you. Before we
support.
do this last song, it looks like Facebook says we're having trouble again.
Hmm.
I don't
Well,
know
why
if
don't
that
we do
is
this?
true or not, but
Well, if it is, let's do this. We'll get this over to you, and let's just rebroadcast it so everyone
okay,
can
cool.
see it. Yeah.
So
So
I'm going to play this last song for you then.
lovely.
That's called Live Off Love. The sun don't shine with your shadow beating down. My dreams can't fly. You just cut them to the ground. Run in your errands. You're just running around. Ha! Like I wouldn't find out truth with you. Lies spill out your mouth. Today I'm finally through. Feeling my back setting south. But honey, before I do, I got one night left to go out. Hey, I'm gonna live my love, get all dolled up. I'm gonna paint this town red with my lipstick tonight. Ain't gonna shoot them down, gonna make my round. I'm tossing some back with every guy in. I'm gonna live my love and leave you. When the sun comes up, it'll come crashing down. I know it's gonna be tough, this town red with my lipstick tonight. Ain't gonna shoot them down. I'm gonna make my rounds, tossing some back with every guy inside. I'm gonna live my love and leave you. Yeah, hey. Hey, I'm gonna live my life now as I say goodbye. Love, I'm gonna love them right, even if it's just for tonight. Hey, if I fail, get all doubted. Gonna paint this town red with my lipstick tonight. Ain't gonna shoot them down. I'm gonna make my way round town, tossing some back with every guy inside. I'm gonna live my life and leave you. Well, baby, I'll leave you. I'm gonna live life, love, and leave you. Gonna live life, love, and leave you. Gonna live life, love, and leave you. Live life, love, and leave you. Hey!
That's fantastic. That's
Thank
so
you.
fun. All right, we're gonna absolutely do this again
Yes, please.
very
Thank you so much
soon.
for
And
having me.
thanks again for being here. And yeah, I'll talk to you shortly. But wow, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Well, I hope everyone had as much fun with that as I did. This is your big music moment. We'll be with you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific for some more live music. Just want to give a shout out to our associated sponsor, Musicians on Call, bringing the healing power of music to those in need. And also just to unequivocally state that Big Music stands with Black Lives Matter. And you can check out our socials for what we're going to do in our own way, help and be part of the solution. So, as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And live to listen. Take care.